Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kate from Mindful Knots. In today's tutorial, I will be teaching you guys how to make a cat beanie. This tutorial is super quick to work up and is beginner friendly, so let's get straight into the tutorial. For this project, you will need a pair of scissors, a crochet hook, size 5.5 millimeters, a stitch marker and a stitch counter, and some yarn. I used a weight for yarn. It's an acrylic yarn. You can adjust your hook size according to the type of yarn you chose to use. Okay, to begin, you will create a slip knot. So you'll fold the yarn onto itself like that. Then you'll twist this part and then come in through the back with your fingers and then grab the shorter strand and then pull through that loop. Insert your hook in that loop and then make that loop a little bit tinier up onto the hook there. Alright, to begin you will make a foundation chain, and to chain you will just yarn over, so you'll go under the yarn and hook it and then pull through the loop. So that's one chain. We'll do that again. You'll go under the yarn, hook it, so you go under the yarn and hook it, and then pull through the loop on the hook there. So that's two chains. You will chain up 65 chains, or until the chain is long enough to wrap around your head. Okay, so once you have a foundation chain of 65, you're going to make sure you're not going to twist the chain there, so make sure it's all facing the same way. And then so you'll go back to that first stitch there, and then you will slip stitch, and to do that you will just insert your hook into that stitch. Pull it up pretty tight there. You will yarn over, so you'll go under the yarn and hook it. Pull through that first stitch and the loop on the hook. So you're going to pull through both of those. Alright, and then that creates a giant circle. So this circle should be able to reach around your head. Make sure that it fits. And then you can adjust this foundation chain to whatever number you would like. For the first round, you will chain up 1. So to chain, you'll just yarn over, so you'll go under the yarn, hook it, and then pull through the loop onto the hook there. Okay, so for that first stitch there, you are going to insert a half double crochet. So to do a half double crochet, you will just yarn over and hook the yarn, insert your hook through that first stitch there, yarn over, pull through the stitch. That leaves you with 3 loops on the hook. You'll yarn over again and then pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So that is a half double crochet. We're just going to tighten that first stitch up a little bit. So for the next stitch, you'll just do the same thing. You're just going to insert 1 single crochet into each stitch for this first round. So you will yarn over again, insert your hook through that second stitch, yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch. That leaves you with 3 loops on the hook. Then you will yarn over and pull through all 3. You'll do that again. So you'll yarn over, insert your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch. That leaves you with 3 loops. You'll yarn over and pull through all 3. Then you'll just repeat that around. You'll just insert 1 half double crochet into each stitch. So I will meet you back at the end of this round here, and I'll show you how to close it off. Okay, so now that you have half double crocheted into each chain, we are back at the first stitch there. So what we will do is we will skip over that initial chain 1 that we made, and then we will be working into that first stitch there. So what we'll do is do another half double crochet into that first stitch. You'll yarn over, insert your hook through that first stitch there, yarn over, pull through the stitch. That leaves you with 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. So this is when your stitch marker will come into play. So what we'll do is we will mark that stitch we just created, because that is the new stitch for the first round. You will also get out your stitch counter here, or you can just like write it down. But we will start with 2 because we are now starting the second round. So again, just like the first round, we're just going to insert 1 half double crochet into each stitch. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook through that next stitch, yarn over again and pull through. That leaves you with 3 loops on the hook, so you'll yarn over and pull through all 3. And then you'll just repeat that, so you'll put 1 half double crochet into each stitch. And when you're working into the stitch, you're going to work into these 2 like top V, I guess, the 2 strands there. That's 1 stitch, that V shape. So you'll yarn over, insert your hook through that whole stitch. See those 2 loops there? Yarn over and pull through. That leaves you with 3. So then you'll yarn over and pull through all 3. You will repeat that around, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am back at the stitch marker here. So that means I inserted the last half double crochet for the round. So for this next round, we'll just take out the stitch marker. We will half double crochet into that stitch. So you'll yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3. Then we will mark the new first stitch of the new round. So by doing this, by just continuously working into the next round like this, you won't have a seam in your hat. You are also going to take your stitch marker here, or your stitch counter, and count it up 1. Okay, so you are going to repeat this process, just inserting 1 half double crochet into each stitch, and then counting your rows by moving your stitch marker. Okay, so I ended up doing 25 rounds. So it ended up being about 9 inches. By about 9.5, 10 inches there. Again, you can adjust the sizing accordingly, because I'm going to have a brim, so I'm just going to fold it up a little bit, and then you can make your brim thicker, smaller, you can have no brim, so you can build this up as tall as you would like. Okay, so as you can see, I'm at the last stitch there, so I'm just going to remove that stitch marker because we're not going to be needing it anymore. In the next stitch there, you're just going to slip stitch to fasten off. So to slip stitch, you'll just insert your hook through the next stitch, yarn over and pull the yarn through the stitch and through the loop on the hook. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll flip it inside out. And we will just slip stitch the top edge closed there. So what we will do So what we'll do, we're just going to grab half of the stitch on either side, if that makes sense. So the stitch, you can see it's a V. So it's going to be 2 lines, so that's 1 stitch there. And then in the back you can see it too, where there's a V. So we're only going to grab 1 of them. So what we'll do is we'll go into the nearest stitch. I know it's kind of hard to see. Insert our hook through that stitch. We'll go to the back correlating stitch there and just grab that first V. Okay? Then we will yarn over. So you'll go under the yarn, go over so under and over, hook it, pull it through the stitches there and the loop on the hook. We'll do that again. So this next stitch here, see that V? So then this next stitch here, see that V there? You're just going to grab the inside one. You'll go to the back here, find the correlating stitch, see how there's a V? You're just going to grab that inside little loop. Then you'll yarn over, pull it through the stitches there, and the loop on the hook. So you'll just continue doing that until the end is all closed up. So you'll insert it through both, yarn over, and pull through the stitches and the loop on the hook. You'll just continue. Until it's all stitched up. You can also just cut your yarn and have a long tail and then use a sewing needle to sew it up, but I think slip stitching just ends up being faster for me anyway, because I don't really like sewing. Okay, so you'll just do that all the way across until this is all closed up. See how this is closed up now? You'll just close it all the way up and I will meet you back. Okay, so I slip stitched the entire top there, and then to fasten off I just cut a long tail here. We will yarn over and pull through the last loop on the hook, pull the string all the way through, and then pull tightly. You'll go back in with your sewing needle and sew in your end there, and now your cat beanie is complete. And yes, it is just a square beanie, but whenever you put it on your head, it forms the squares which look like ears. You could go back and add in like a detailed embroidery to kind of accentuate the cat ears a little bit more, but I kind of like just the simplicity of it. I kind of went crazy and I made some more, and I actually made some with like more plushy yarn, and I actually love these way more than the first yarn that I used. This one I still really like, but as you can see, like this yarn is just way more textured and it just feels better on my head and like looks more expensive, and I just love how it turned out. I also made one in this kind of yarn too. It's a little bit thicker, kind of woolly, and yeah, so I definitely recommend kind of using a thicker textured yarn because it just, in my opinion, looks better. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and thank you for watching.